All right, let's jump right into a question that sounds simple but is actually pretty complex. Can taking omega-3 supplements make you gain weight? It's a fear that totally makes sense on the surface, so we're going to unpack it together. I mean, think about it for a second. You're trying to watch your weight and someone tells you to start taking capsules full of, well, fat. It just feels a little backwards, doesn't it? It's a paradox that makes a lot of people hit the pause button. And look, if you're skeptical, you have every right to be. For decades, the message has been pretty clear. Fat is the enemy when you're trying to manage your weight. So the idea of swallowing oil to get leaner, yeah, it just doesn't seem to compute. But here's the twist. What if avoiding these specific kinds of fats is actually holding you back? This is the core idea from our source material, and it kind of flips that whole fear on its head. That's exactly what we're going to dig into. Okay, so first things first. Before we can get to the truth, we really need to understand why this fear is so common. It's not just some random paranoia, it's based on a really simple line of thinking that we've all been taught. You know this logic, right? It's been drilled into us for years. Step 1, fish oil is fat. Check, that's true. Step 2, fat has a lot of calories. Also true. So the conclusion, step 3, must be that eating more of it will make you gain weight. It seems like a perfectly straight line, but it turns out it's missing a really important piece of the puzzle. And this number, 9, that's really the engine behind that fear. Every gram of fat has about 9 calories. That's more than double what you get from protein or carbs. So when you think about adding a pure fat to your diet, that number makes the concern feel very, very real. But what if that simple calorie math we all learned isn't the full story? This is where everything starts to change. There's a missing piece here that completely transforms the entire equation. And that missing piece has a name: metabolic signaling. It's this fascinating idea that not all calories are created equal. Some calories are just raw fuel, energy to be burned or stored. But other calories, like the ones from high-quality omega-3s, they're different. They're more like instructions. Think of it this way. Most calories are just workers showing up at a construction site. But omega-3s? They're the foreman with the blueprints, telling all the other workers where to go and what to build. They're managing the whole operation. And this slide breaks it down perfectly. On one side, you've got your simple fuel calories. Your body just sees them as energy to either burn right now or shove into storage for later. But on the other side, you have these instruction-based calories. They actually get involved in your body's decision-making process for how it burns and stores energy in the first place. Okay, so that's the theory. But how does this actually play out in real life? If these omega-3s are sending out instructions, what are they telling your body to do? Well, the results can be pretty surprising, and you might not see them on your bathroom scale. This is where it gets really interesting. A ton of research shows that when people take omega-3s, they often don't lose a lot of weight overall. But what they do see is a smaller waist, less of that dangerous belly fat, and just a better overall body composition. It's less about the total pounds and more about rearranging where those pounds are. And this leads to something people say all the time when they start taking a good omega-3 supplement. They'll step on the scale day after day, see the exact same number, and think, well, I guess this isn't working. But then they'll say this: but my clothes are definitely looser. And that is the perfect example of what we call body recomposition. You're not losing weight, you're changing what that weight is made of, swapping out fat for leaner tissue. So how is that even possible? Well, one of the main ways is by improving something called insulin sensitivity. Think of insulin like the traffic cop for your blood sugar. When it's working well, it directs energy smoothly into your muscles to be used as fuel. But when it's not working well, you get traffic jams, and all that extra fuel gets rerouted and stored as fat. Omega-3s basically help tune up that system, making your body way more efficient at using energy instead of just storing it. Now here's the crazy part. That fear we talked about, the fear of gaining weight from fish oil, it's not totally wrong. It can actually be justified. But the real culprit isn't the omega-3. It's something else hiding inside that capsule. Take a look at this. This donut chart shows the real problem. A lot of the cheap, low-potency supplements out there are mostly just filler oil. You might be getting only 30% of the active omega-3s that send those important metabolic signals. The other 70%, it's just extra fat with zero instructions. It's all fuel, no foreman. So you see, it's all about reframing the problem. The thought isn't, fish oil made me gain weight. The reality is, the low-potency fish oil I took forced me to swallow a ton of useless filler fat just to get a tiny bit of the good stuff. All right, so where does that leave us? When we factor in the idea of metabolic signaling in this whole filler fat trap, what's the final verdict? Can omega-3s cause weight gain? Well, this is what you should be looking for. A high-potency supplement has a really high concentration of the active stuff, like 75% or more. That means you get a powerful dose of those metabolic instructions with very little filler. And the total calories from a daily dose? Maybe around 40. For most people, that's basically nothing. So if you're going to remember 3 things from all of this, let it be these. First, always look for a high concentration of the active ingredients, EPA and DHA. Second, remember that some calories are way more than just fuel. They're instructions for your body. And third, pay more attention to how your genes fit than the number on the scale. And this quote from the source material really just says it all, doesn't it? The point isn't to be afraid of all fats. It's about using the right fats to help your body become smarter and more efficient at handling everything you eat. So, I'll just leave you with this one final thought to chew on. If the calories in your food are also instructions, what kind of message are you sending your body today? Thanks for watching.